welcome to our channel Front End Hustle. In the last session we had learned about the HTML, and now we were going to start our second part, which is CSS. So let's move towards. First of all, we can recall it that what we had learned. So we had learned in the introduction that what is HTML. HTML is the hypertext markup language and the structure of the web pages. In the basic of HTML syntax, we had learned about the tags, what are elements and what are attributes. We had also learned by the examples of the h1 to h6 and p tag. We had also learned about the HTML document structure type. HTML tag with the head, title and body. We had also seen about the image tag, list tag, form tag. We had learned about the semantic elements like the header, nav, main, section, article, footer, and also learned about the importance of the segment tag for the accessibility and SEO. Now we'll move towards the CSS. So we learn about the CSS. What is CSS is the first basic question which arises. CSS is the cascading style sheet, and what is the purpose of adding CSS? Why we use CSS? Likewise, I had previously given you the example of the house in my previous video, that if we build the house, so it is a basic HTML, and when we paint it, so we use color combinations. So that is all gives house a beautiful view, and this we known as CSS. So basically what is CSS? CSS is a style sheet language used to describe the presentations of a document written in HTML or XML. It controls how elements on the web page are displayed, including layout, colors, font, and animations. Now the second question arises, that why we use CSS. So first one is separation of the content and design. Keeps HTML for the content and CSS for the styling. There's a reusability. One CSS file can be styled multiple HTML pages, and these were the efficient design, easier to maintain and update the style sheet. However, we had also discussed about the responsiveness. So this responsiveness comes through the responsive CSS which we use there. So first of all, we move forward. I can give you that there were the three type of the CSS which are here written: inline, internal and external CSS. See, in the inline CSS, it is applied directly to an HTML element using style attributes. So if you want to use the CSS in the HTML itself, so you can use the inline CSS. For example, I had been given that if you were using h1 tag and you wanted to give the style in that single line only, so here's the h1 tag and this is the style syntax, like style is equals to, and you have to open the colon and use color for the text color and font size 20 pixels. Now this is the one type of the HTML syntax. What if we need to do or write internal CSS? How we can use it? So I'll write here for the internal CSS. We'll write this type, like we take style, then we take P, which is an element, paragraph, and open the curly braces. Between that curly braces we can use these styles, so it will change the color of text. So we'll move forward and check their examples to understand, to take more understanding about it. Like we were using this last time, we were using this. So if I want to open HTML page, we dispose it and again open it like this, WWF, and we want that it should be color blue. So where's WWF? So first we take example of the inline CSS. So as we write, style is equals to color green. Suppose we will need green color, so we'll use like this. See, there is a color come WWF in a green color. There were the more styles in it. So likewise, if we use more font size, you have to increase font size to 40 pixels. We can save it and check, it would be of the 40 pixels, correct? In this way we used inline CSS. Now come to the part of the internal CSS that we had learned just now. For internal CSS, first we look on the text, that how we write it between the styles. So I am not going to write it repeatedly. I simply copy it, and where I need to paste it, between this body. Before adding it, we need to write style, like this, and we paste it simply. See, we had this paragraph and we had made it green. Let's change the color. Should I get right and save it? Now see what's the difference is there. See, we had make it green through the inline CSS and we had make it red through the internal CSS. Now we come to the external CSS. For external CSS, we need to make another file named CSS. It is also called style sheets, so we can make it inside the assets, and you may have to practice these, like where we need to put our assets under the asset column, asset folder, so that it would be the good for your manager to recognize it. The extension is CSS. We write it .css. So what I had named it, style sheet .css. Now see, where we use it, we take section. It is a section, so we can also use it inside the section colon. Section and then bracket. Then we can use anything, right? We need color. Let's see, take it. So let's take background color and text color, means color. And save it. Now see what's happened. We don't have linked yet, so we need to link it. We use it below the head, so we don't take head and use the prompt. We take it and close the head. See, I think it's not take 6 because it's inside the asset folder. And save it. Now check the result. Which section is this? It is this section, and we had already. Now copy it and take another section for our implementation. What is not working? Color yellow. I think we have incorrectly linked the file. Where's the external CSS? Let's move it out. come here and we'll use direct. And also remove the internal CSS. Again, it is not working. Let me just check why it is not working. I think there is a name. Yes. It is a style sheet. See, changes have occurred. It's my mistake that I don't check the name. So if you want, so you can also do this and the internal CS internal file which is inside the assist, but you need to check the spelling. This is the correct spelling and now move it inside it. Is there any change occur? No. So correct, perfect. We can use this type. So all the three type I had explained you. Now come to the main part, that what if we use the all three CSS, in which order they will take the CSS. So in this scenario they will come first is inline CSS. If the same CSS will given or different CSS will given to the same element, like inline CSS given and then internal CSS given and then external CSS given to the same element. So what will be the order? First come inline CSS, it will apply the inline CSS, then it will apply internal CSS, and lastly it will apply external CSS. So if you have making any project or working in any project and you want to apply some CSS, while there is already given the CSS in the external CSS, you can apply inline or internal CSS so that you can override them. So that is the main feature, that there were the three type of the CSS, but the main priority is given to the inline CSS, then the second priority given to the internal CSS, and lastly there were the priority given to the external CSS. So you can use this type of CSS. Now we'll come towards the CSS box model. What is it and how this is useful? See, the CSS box model is a fundamental concept in the web designing and development that describe how elements are displayed on the web page. Every HTML element is treated as a rectangular box, and box model consists of the four area. Which four area? Is the content, the actual text, image or other content inside the box. Padding clears space inside the element between the content and the border. There's a border, a boundary that wraps around the padding and content, and there's a margin, clears space outside the border, separating the element from the other. So if you want to see this, we'll come here and inspect the element. See, you need to go in you have this Chrome, so you can open in that and inspect the element. I also do one. Here we go, like this, and let's open the Google itself and inspect it. See, we'll show you where it comes. You go in the where you need to go, you have to inspect it, then open the element section, inspect it, where the element section is given style, and we need to click on the computed. Here the computed, the box model is given, which will give you all details. Like here it is written 1390 multiplied by 92. This is the content area, the actual text, image or other content. This is inside this box. Then this is the padding. What is padding and what this means? The clear space inside the element between the content and the border. Where's the border? This is the border. So the space between content and the border is known as padding, and the space between border and outside space is called margin. Sorry. So the clear space outside the border separates the element from the other is known as margin, and this box system is called CSS box model. This is very important thing. So in the box model there were some properties which come with it. Likewise width. What is width? Width is the content area width, means horizontally space or horizontally size that we use. Next come height, and then padding, and then border, margin and border size. That's all for today. We'll move forward in the next chapter, in the next. So do not forget to like, subscribe and click on the bell icon for more notification. We'll move forward in the upcoming lectures. Thank you guys.